I think one of the things that is a change for me, if I could put it that way, from my previous church context in WA, is the number of seniors we have in our church. And that's not that it's disproportionate, it's just in Karratha, where we were the last 6 years. Karratha is a very young town, and there are just simply no older folk in the whole of Karratha, let alone in our church. And so for me, coming into a church community that has a very strong seniors cohort and a very active seniors cohort as well, I'm actually really excited about that. I'm really looking forward to being back in a church context that really is spanning the number of generations that we have. It's a good thing. The Nick Martin growing up was an angel. No, nothing under the carpet at all. I grew up in a family of a mum and dad and 2 brothers. I'm the middle of 3 boys, and a family environment that afforded us plenty of opportunities to be boys and to grow in our experiences of life and everything associated. I think it's fair to say I was probably the most expensive of the 3 boys for my parents. I played a lot of sport, had a lot of music lessons growing up, and probably more so than what my brothers did. And being the middle child, I probably struggled with middle child syndrome and feeling like I was the one that was invisible, but in reality, that certainly wasn't the case as I look back on it. Just had a wonderful family upbringing. Didn't really get into a lot of mischief. I think I was the kind of kid who was a bit too scared to get in trouble, and so really would try to avoid doing too much that would be too far outside the boundaries. I love sport. I'm a big sports fan, so if there's a ball involved and it's being kicked, pushed, punched, rolled, thrown, whatever, chased, I am there. I love playing sport. Not so much these days, but I love watching sport. I'm a big Freo Dockers fan, long-suffering, patient fan of the Fremantle Football Club for many years now. Hopefully flag mantle is something we can all be talking about for many years to come, sooner rather than later. I love barbecuing, so American barbecue, low and slow, smoking meat, brisket and ribs and pulled pork and chicken and those kinds of things. I'm a big believer in the old Simpsons quote that you don't win friends with salad. And so a plate full of protein is my ideal dinner, and breakfast and lunch as well. And then I love family time as well. I love just getting out and exploring where we live with my family. My wife is my best friend. My kids are just a joy. And so getting out and about and having new adventures, finding new places and gaining new experiences. Oh, big question. Big question. The last month and a half of being here has really been about just trying to put the puzzle pieces into place so I can see what the picture is. What is Mitcham Baptist Church? Where are our strengths? Where are our opportunities for ministry? What do we do well? What do we don't do well? All of those kind of things. And there's been a lot of thoughts and a lot of ideas and vision running through my head, but I've really felt God just kind of going, just take your time. We're playing the long game here. We don't want to be just a flash in the pan and we're shooting through in 5 minutes or anything like that. But we want to be here ultimately for as long as the Lord wants us here. We have always tried to live our life in obedience to God. We went to Karratha in obedience. We feel like we left in obedience. We feel like we've come here in obedience. And so we want to stay in obedience with the time frames that God has for us personally here at Mitcham. We're hoping that's certainly longer rather than shorter, that's for sure. But to just continue really to help build a church that lives in complete surrender to Jesus as Lord. To build a church that wants and is obedient to what and where God calls us, and to focus on the things He's calling us to focus on. To be people of mission, to join Jesus in day-to-day living out the gospel, and inviting others to taste and see that the Lord is good. So what that looks like specifically, what that looks like practically, I don't know. That's something we'll have to work out together as we continue to walk this journey of following Jesus. But I'm really looking forward to the opportunities that the Lord will open up for us to find our unique place in the landscape of churches in Melbourne, and to be and take on the shape that God is calling us to take on.